Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Vox Adventures. Oh. Well, let's just continue swimming along. So tomorrow's October 1st, which will be the start of my Halloween movie marathon. My tradition. What does it entail? Oh, watching everything horror related. Oh, and if you're wondering what happened to my boat, well, let's just say when they came, I ended up in a place where I could neither break it nor get back in it, so here I am. Swimming through the sea like Namor the Submariner. No wait, maybe Aquaman works better because Namor has the wings on the ankle, so he can fly too. Yeah, Aquaman works better. So where are we going? Just swimming into the horizon. As I typically do, I start in alphabetical order with the live action movies. So tomorrow I'll be starting with Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. And just be going to there until I end up in the animated section and finish up with Van Helsing the London assignment. I have a wide range of movies for Halloween, of course. Yes, Alex? He's a good kitten. Put your tail down. So, I spent a good portion of last evening playing Clue with some friends. It was going very well. Of course, I was playing with Sam and Pry. And at one point, Sam did what we call pulling a Sam. And you're probably wondering what pulling a Sam entails. Well, the first time we played together, she pretty much just Well, you know what happens. You guess prematurely and you get uh, disqualified. It's game over for you. Well, she did that last night, but she did it deliberately. Because guess who the killer was? Yeah, it was her. She was playing as Orchid, Miss Orchid, and the killer was Miss Orchid. And on Tuesday night, I was watching Sir Rolling Cat stream. He was streaming New World with some friends, and they run into this faction of players called the Left Nut Boys. To which I asked if there was a rival faction called the Right Nut Boys. Or something along those lines. I know the punchline was Right Nut Boys, but it was either, is there a faction, or I wonder if there's a rival faction called the Right Nut Boys. And of course now Alex is laying on top of my arm, wrist and all. Of course. No, I'm starting to wonder just where exactly I'm going. Or just where exactly I am. Am I swimming past continents? It's a good thing that's just a regular sound effect, or you think Minecraft Cthulhu is going to rise up and eat my soul. Hey, Alex. This has been going on since last night. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're going to be hit. You know, the barrier of the world, or some continent. I wonder at what point does the abyss just count as the distance? Or the distance does count as the abyss? Because I'm staring into the abyss. And I've been blinking. And you. You know, I do honestly wonder about some of the things I've seen on Bedrock. How long until they, for these things like this, like the deep sea mashup pack, how long until there's actually stingrays or some sort of ray swimming around down here? I mean, in actuality, those rays are phantoms. But still the question stands. How long until the phantom model is adapted to make stingrays, manta rays, whatever kind of ray? Freshwater rays. Hey. And the same with the Egyptian mythology pack. How long until llamas are adapted to make camels for a desert variant? I'll tell you, I don't know. It's interesting, an interesting idea, yes, that from these mashup packs, things might eventually be implemented, like the Egyptian mythology pack. The polar bears are hippos, so that's an idea of something we might end up getting. On Bedrock, there's this ocean exploration map, where you go and where you go out and look for marine animals of a certain type. And it's actually quite calming. It's peaceful, there's no hostile mobs or anything, the sharks don't attack you. I mean, sure, the threat of drowning is very real. But one of the problems I have is the submarine. It's just so hard for me to control. They're not like the submarines on the deep sea pack where they're just built so they don't actually move around. Yeah, they don't actually move around, but the sub in the ocean exploration map is very difficult because, if I remember correctly, the way you steer it is with your head. Look up, look down, that's where you go. Oh jeez, not responding. And while the concept of submarines that you can actually use in Minecraft is interesting, it's something that I hope I never see in vanilla Minecraft. It's really a pain for me to control. And while something like the Nautilus, a build like the Nautilus is very much grand, I wouldn't want to actually be steering it. The Nautilus, or whatever the name of the submarine was from Voyage from the Bottom of the Sea, I can't remember at the moment. Yeah, good movie, Voyage from the Bottom of the Sea. Like an underwater forerunner of Star Trek. Yes, Alex? Wow, 27 minutes beneath the waves. Interesting. And time for me to get the charger. Alex, you gonna lay down? Or what are you going to do? Hey. He's a good kitten. He's an alley Alex. Starting to wonder how long I've been swimming for. Since last night. I definitely know that, well, of course I've seen the Ender Dragon on the deep sea packets referred to as a sea dragon. I've not spawned the Weller. I don't know if I'd want to. I probably wouldn't in the mashup pack world. I'd probably put on the texture pack, go into a a vanilla world and just spawn it there in creative. So the fact is I don't want to see these places destroyed. 32 minutes beneath the waves. I first saw 3,000 Leagues Under the Sea when I was 6 years old. The James Mason film, the Disney film from 1934 with Kirk Douglas and James Mason, Peter Lorre too. My dad was in the hospital and he broke his leg on skating. So one day when I was at school, my mum rented it. She went to pick me up. We went to visit my dad when he was in the hospital. And we went home, had dinner, and we watched it. For some reason, remember the giant squid roaring in pain when it was electrocuted. Something that it turns out didn't even do, but when my mom got me the DVD years later, imagine my surprise. Of course, before that, my family had the VHS of Seasons in the Sea, a nature documentary. Beautiful film. While most kids my age couldn't name more than one shark rather than regular shark and hammerhead shark, I knew the names of quite a few. I knew horn shark, rayon shark, basking shark, angel shark, hammerhead, of course, great white, So yeah, having Seasons on the Sea and Microsoft's Dangerous Creatures really helped. Hmm. 38 minutes beneath the waves. Oh yeah, also the Wobegong. Which is also a type of shark, not just a funny word. Hmm. To quote the guide from Microsoft Dangerous Creatures, because, well, there's 3 of them. One of them is a nature photographer, and she took us on an underwater excursion. She referred to the Wobegong as looking like a runaway rug. And yeah, when you think sharks, people definitely think a certain species. They have a certain image in their head. They don't think anything like a Wobegong, a rug like Wobegong, a ray like angel shark. Anything small like the horn shark or the bamboo shark. Or anything quite as gentle as the whale shark or the basking shark. Of course, the narrator for Microsoft Dangerous... No, not Microsoft Dangerous Creatures. Seasons in the Sea refers to the basking shark as looking like something... looking like a demon out of a nightmare. Personally, I don't find it that frightening in appearance. They're gentle giants. I was first introduced to Aquaman through the Justice League animated series, and as for Namor, I was actually first introduced to him through a Spider-Man audiobook. Actually, not well. Actually, it wasn't. Technically, it was an audiobook in the sense it was a book on tape, but it was actually a one of those BBC things, BBC America, I think, in this case. So it was phone cast, uh, sound effects and everything. Not really any narration. And the reason Namor uh, f- figured into it was because the Fantastic Four were included as well, with the final villain of the piece being Doctor Doom. And I didn't really have any idea what Namor looked like. I knew what the Fantastic Four looked like. I knew what Spider-Man looked like. Doctor Octopus, the Green Goblin, J. Jonah Jameson, Betty Brant, Liz Allen, Flash Thompson, Aunt May, Uncle Ben. All those characters. I knew what Dormammu looked like because yeah, he features in the story also. Didn't really quite so much know what Namor looked like, and I don't think I knew what Doctor Doom looked like either. Yeah, I didn't really know what Doctor Doom looked like at the time either. So I only had the vaguest idea in my mind. Namor, due to being from Atlantis, I pictured him as kind of looking like the Atlanteans from Atlantis, The Lost Empire, the Disney film. Doctor Doom, going off memory, I probably imagined something kind of Darth Vader esque, when he's got the mask off. Hey, Alex. Who's an alley, Alex? The Little Mermaid, no idea when I was introduced to that. It was just one of those things my family had on VHS. So, yeah, we had all these things. All these certain Disney VHSs. Some non-Disney like Black Beauty, which is my favorite movie. Um, Not sure what other ocean-related things I can talk about. Really, now that we're out of the water, I don't know if it will really be thematically connected. Yes. Yes, you want attention, don't you? Who's my little kitten? Who's my good boy? The bone shark I first learned about through the Discovery Channel. Something I was watching something about sharks, not Shark Week. Not anything like that. I think it was before Shark Week was a thing. Of course, who knows how long it's been a thing for, so it might have just been a non-shark related Shark Week thing. But anyway, the bone shark I learned about because, yeah, something on the Discovery Channel, and apparently, down in the States at some point, a bone shark swam upriver because, yeah, they can go between fresh and salt water, and killed a couple of kids. And so the town authorities just tried everything in their power to kill it. They tried guns, they tried dynamite, but the bone shark, which they dubbed Jaws, did not die. It just remained until it eventually left. Not AFK by choice. I'm stuck beneath a tree until the sun goes down. I think when I was 10, yeah, when I was 10, around that age range, I was at my grandparents' house, watching YTV, and animated adaptation of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea comes on. And that was something that I had not thought of in a while, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So it was a story I remembered a bit, but it was different. I mean, obviously it was animated, but it's less dependent on the Disney bit. It actually includes different things from the Verne novel, like there having been multiple giant squids rather than just one, for instance. Ned Land being black was an interesting choice. I mean, as a harpooner, a sailor, there'd be little reason to care about something like ethnicity, skin color, things like that. And something that I particularly like about that portrayal is that in the epilogue it stated that he eventually gave up harpooning and instead became a zookeeper, taking care of an elephant seal. Which is actually funny because when the Nautilus arrives in Antarctica, a tired Ned just sits on top of an elephant seal, which of course gets angry and roars at him to get off, to which he says, "Calm down," or to my best of my memory, "Calm down, there's enough room on this rock for both of us." And of course my mom just, of course she was there too, and she comments, "He is the rock!" And it basically just what follows is Ned and the elephant seal just roaring at one another. It's quite nice just seeing him give up something as terrible as harpooning. Because in 1997 there was an adaptation that went with stuck with the harpoon thing and just made him a straight up villain. And yes, harpooning is a terrible thing, but honestly I like it better that he just changed. And he just gave up harpooning. Yes, Alex. I mean, yes, there was an addition of a female character who became the love interest of Professor Aronnax. And she's also our viewpoint character, rather than Professor Aronnax. But things like that have become the standard. There's usually a female character added. Because the original novel was basically an all-male cast. What are you up to, Alex? Well, the creature from the Black Lagoon is something that you hear about as a lot. You hear about a lot as a kid. It's sort of these referenced things, but for goodness sake. You hear about it a lot as a kid. It's sort of these referenced things, along with well, a lot of other things. And you don't really know what it is. You think it might be this, like this Loch Ness monster type thing. Like there's this place actually called the Black Lagoon somewhere. It's not until later that you discover it's actually a movie. Yes, Alex. Hairball. Hey, kitten. Hmm. Yeah, these marks will fade. Yeah, something particularly strange about that Spider-Man radio miniseries I mentioned in relation to Namor is that it's not the Human Torch who finds him. The one who actually finds him is the Thing. So they basically made the change so of it being the Human Torch who temporarily crits it and finds Namor, it's the Thing. I don't really know why. I really don't. It's just why change it? I mean, yeah, I know with the Thing it makes more sense, but they already did it with the Human Torch in the comics. That's the way it's been since in the '60s. Why change it? The reason the Thing crits is uh, an attempt from well, an attempt to make him look normal again fails. He turns back into Ben Grimm, and then a little bit later he turns back into a Thing. And then he later comes back with that whole "Honey, I'm Home" shtick of his. Let's face it, if you don't expect the Thing to act like that, well, I don't know what you're expecting. And he just found Namor. He found the Submariner. Because of course he did. Yeah, of course he did. I mean, thankfully, the Human Torch still has his moments at that Spider-Man fan club where the Green Goblin shows up. So it's not like the Thing is usurping all of the Human Torch's notable moments. Hey, you. What's the matter? I remember reading about a idea to retell the Galactus trilogy without the without the Fantastic Four battle. The Silver Surfer would have been there, but there would have been no Fantastic Four, and well, that didn't appear as a comic book mini-series or anything. That is basically how it is with the Silver Surfer animated series, and it actually, strangely, has a forerunner with the 1966 Namor series, where they had to cut the whole, well, they had to cut the Fantastic Four due to Hanna-Barbera having the rights. Never mind that their show wouldn't hit the air until a year later. So basically, they retold the whole Namor with amnesia thing without the Fantastic Four. And instead, it's Namor's paternal grandmother who helps jog his memory. I mean, that was what, 1962, 1963. Namor would be either 42 or 43. How old is she? How old is Mrs. Mackenzie supposed to be exactly? Yeah, if you look hard in fiction, especially within franchises or in certain genres, you'll find forerunners of some sort. As I mentioned, that Galactus trilogy without the Fantastic Four idea obviously had a forerunner in the Namor without the amnesic Namor story without the Fantastic Four. Aquaman as a full-blooded Atlantean, which was a thing for a bit. Had a forerunner with Hanna, honestly, because Hanna-Barbera, they had the rights to the Fantastic Four, but when it came to adapting two stories with Namor, they couldn't use it. They couldn't use it. So for a story where it's Namor as a villain and Namor as a hero, they basically just replaced them with two different characters. For the hero, it was Prince Triton, who is fully Homo Mormanus, judging by his blue skin. So yeah, there you go. There's basically a forerunner of making Aquaman fully Atlantean. It's weird. He started off fully human, then half human, half Atlantean, fully Atlantean for a bit, and then back to half human, half Atlantean. So it's basically been like that. A forerunner of the character of King Kong would have to be Wild Willie, the missing link. From the Dinosaur and the Missing Link, animated by Willis O'Brien, just as Kong was. And he's this fairly simian character with a bit of an attitude about him, just like Kong does. Just like Kong has. And so, they even both die at the end. So you can really find Forerunners in a certain of ways if it's like something from the same creator or from the same genre, or even from a previous adaptation. And there's also the cases of characters we like to think of as forerunners of other characters, where it's certainly not the case. Everyone likes to say that the Incredible Hulk is a descendant of Jekyll and Hyde, basically, but that's not really the case. There wasn't really a split personality with Jekyll and Hyde. It was more just... There was no real... There's a heavy implication it's not even a split personality. Okay, if that's the case, just let them fight him to death. It was just... Jekyll was just a man wanting to indulge in his actions and basically getting drunk or addicted to his formula. He wanted to indulge in less unpleasant actions than he could, as a man of his standing could, and he just wouldn't take responsibility for it. And when he started to turn into Hyde without the formula, it basically turned into a case of him realizing that, well, he couldn't... If he was to permanently turn into Hyde, he'd not be able to evade responsibility anymore. He couldn't turn back into Jekyll, he couldn't be his regular self again. There would be no evading responsibility for him, because ultimately, with what he'd done with the murder of Danvers Danvers Carey, that's the correct pronunciation, it would just be... It wasn't... Well, yeah, it was him not being responsible for his actions, but it was also him trying to avoid execution. But basically the split personality thing was like, it wasn't really a split personality, it was like, oh, I was drunk at the time, or uh, I was high or something. That's basically what it was. It's like yeah, drug addiction is very much a reading of the story, and that's kind of how it is. It's an alcoholic or drug addict who doesn't take responsibility for their actions until it's too late, and I don't really see that at all with the Hulk. It's not one man with two different forms. It's not one mind in two different forms. It's a bunch of different minds, basically in one body that takes a few different forms. I mean, yeah, the Hulk is. I mean, you've got your Grey Hulk, you've got a number of varieties on the Green Hulk, like the Savage Hulk, the Green Scar. Uh, it might be my personal favorite. You have the Devil Hulk, who also might be one of my favorites. You have Professor Hulk, not really one of my favorites. The Grey Hulk, Green Scar, and the Devil Hulk are actually probably my favorites. Because they're different than what we typically, than what everyone thinks of the Hulk as. But when you get down to it, it's not the only case where it's really like Jekyll and Hyde, where it's one mind in two different forms. It's with Professor Hulk. It's Bruce Banner full time, no matter what. And I've actually got something funny. Like one time you know those face merger websites. I once merged Harry Potter with Shrek, and it came out looking kind of like Professor Hulk, which was even commented on when I shared it. What the? Oh, okay. Just the cloud moving there. Uh, well, I know most people were probably introduced to the Hulk through the Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno television series. I was actually introduced through his first screen appearance, which was from 1966, a part of the Marvel Superheroes show. Same with Namor, so there was a different series each week. Namor No, not each week, each day. So Namor, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. Obviously, Thor was on Thursday. And they were basically uh, the ancestor of motion comics, basically. So that was my introduction to the Hulk. And it's weird because my dad was born in 1958, so that should have been, I don't know, that probably, that might have been his introduction to the character. Oh jeez, not responding. But I don't know, he never really commented on watching it when it was on back in 66. He mentioned the Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno show, and even introduced to me to it through reruns on some show on some channel or other. I don't have cable anymore, so, and it was in my high school years, so that was some time ago. God, I'm 29. That ended 11 years ago. How am I in my late 20s? Anyway, I don't know, it's definitely strange because there's been barely any resemblance to the comics. They just took the basic premise, basically the name of the real name of the Hulk's alter ego, for the most part. Not Robert Bruce Banner, David Bruce Banner. And there's two different stories. One that executives found the name Bruce to be gay. I don't know how a name can sound like it belongs to a specific sexuality. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And the other, he was named after the late son of one of the executives, uh, which is actually a bit more logical, but if you could have just made a sidekick and named him after uh, his a sidekick could have just been created and named after his son instead of just renaming him from just renaming, giving him a different name. And it's not even a proper renaming. He's still called Bruce. Bruce is the middle name in the comics. He's just more frequently he just goes by his middle name rather than his first name. Well, with the TV, with the Bill Bixby series, it's just referring to him by his changed given name. Okay. 2 minutes to lunch. Wonderful. I'm gonna have a hot dog. I guess let's face it, they have to get eaten. So, with tomorrow being October, there'll be a different skin I'll be wearing. And if you've been watching long enough or seen my skin before, you'll know what it is. In any case, I'm Prime Croy Dragon signing out. Stay straight.